Hello my friends, I am Sarah, welcome to Grace in My Space. Today, we're gonna solve a 4-year-old problem. This is today's project. Today, I'm gonna take this table leaf that I've had stored for several years on the off chance that we might need to use it, and I'm gonna turn it into a solution for a decorating dilemma that I've had for 4 years. This is the nook situation that I am dealing with. It is on the dining room side of our double-sided gas fireplace. As you can see, it is a very large, deep, awkward size. It is exactly pretty much mirroring the gas fireplace below it, which means that I always have this weird, awkward, empty space up top. I've never really known exactly what to put in here that made it look completed and not just like I piled my extras. And so today, I'm gonna solve that problem. Now, one solution would be to fill it and add the cedar plank all the way across and just make it look like a seamless wall. That would be an option. That would also require a lot of extra work on my part. I could also find a piece of art that was bigger than the opening. I could cut off the ledge and make it flush so that I can just hang the art right over top of it and make it look like the wall is flat, even though it's not. That's another option, but I really don't want a giant size piece of art on here because it will feel out of scale with the bottom portion since they're currently around the same size. Traditionally, art wouldn't be exactly mirroring the areas around it as far as size and scale goes. So those are two viable options, but my plan today is to actually build an inset shelf that is a 2/3, 1/3 situation so that on the bottom portion, it will be skinnier and I'll be able to add platters or smaller items that just need to be tucked away. And then the top just kind of fills that space a little bit more. That's the plan. We'll see if it works. Gotta bring my workbench to me this time. Step 1, deconstruct all the different pieces on here. Now this piece is about 6 inches too deep. I only need around a foot of depth for my shelf inset, but I'm just gonna rip it down, and then I also am saving these side portions that were previously on the leaf, and I'm going to use them as the side supports, which is going to support the entire shelf, and it's gonna be built in so that you won't see them. Now, one thing to note, since it is a leaf, it does have these connectors that would traditionally be pushed into another connecting piece so that it all stays together. I obviously can't have that. It will prevent me from having this be flush. So this is the edge that I'm gonna cut off. And then the alternative edge has the receiving piece, which I will just leave as is because I'm gonna cover it with a face anyways. That's the current plan. Let's go. My son must have gotten my safety glasses. They are destroyed, so. Oh, that's great. I can see out of my right eye. I took the shelf, I ripped it down to size, but let's be honest, we really left the clip in for the amazing acrobatics of our cat. And we have a shelf. I cut out the corners so that it could sit flush inside the nook and would accommodate the way that I'm mounting it in the space. One day I want to have a real workshop where I can do things and there's electricity. It's my long-term goal. Guys, don't do this on your nice dining table, okay? Just don't. It's not a good idea. Pretty perfect. I have it placed? That is the question. One side's down. Dang. Well, now now I have to force it back up. I just need to cut a little bit off that edge. smidgen off. Just a smidgen. I've been doing this job for 6 years, and I can't even count the number of times that I have truly wished I had apprenticed under somebody who actually knows what they're doing with woodworking, because my method is trial and error. That's not the easiest way. But it does get the job done, eventually. Beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. One piece of the puzzle that I'm not sharing in full detail on this project is the amount of different ways that I tried to mask the background of this nook. I tried paint, I grabbed wallpaper samples, and basically everything that I tried, I undid in the end. Will it fit with all the extra layers of paint that I just did? So I decided that the shelf is built, it could technically be done. And it could be done, but I don't like the chevron in the back. I never have, and I was trying to avoid, you know, like doing anything about it. But I'm gonna attempt this. We're gonna see how this looks, and if it looks good, I'm gonna stain it or paint it, I don't know which. Hopefully it fits. With some underlayment. What? How is that so small? Oh my gosh. Let's see what this one looks like. What? Oh my gosh! Here's what I decided. I decided that this was supposed to be an easy project. And so rather than go buy a new piece of underlayment, I'm just gonna paint this. I'm gonna stick it in there. The gaps are not gonna be super visible once I get to core in there. And next time I do this fireplace, I'm just gonna do it how I want it from the beginning. That was always the plan. Like, this has always been kind of a temporary solution. But for now, I'm just gonna finish this stinking project. And I think that that's actually worth noting, that sometimes projects have failures, sometimes they have roadblocks that you can't necessarily overcome right when you're in the middle of the project. Sometimes you just have to wait and pick up the project down the road until you can get it how you want it. And so today we are going to finish this with a temporary solution that will still be an improvement upon how I started. This project has definitely been an interesting project. What started out as something super simple, totally free, should have only taken an afternoon. It ended up taking about a week, which you would not have been able to tell from this video. But all of that time was spent waiting for paint to dry and trying to come up with the ideas for how I wanted the backside of the nook to look. And just the process of design that sometimes takes a lot longer than you initially planned. In the end, this is an improvement over what we had before because it meets the needs that I was looking for, to be able to have more than one shelf for storage and for decoration, but also just kind of tone it down and solidify this side a little bit more so that it didn't look like one box layered above another. And I've done that with paint, with a simple shelf project that was completely free, and other than the underlayment that I cut wrong. But it's one of those kind of in-between projects where you started out at one point, you've made an improvement, it's not perfect, and you're on your way to something else. And it's good for now, it'll do, until I really figure out what I want to do on this side of the fireplace. One of the things that I did do is I painted this part white. It was black previously, and that really made it look like two boxes. So doing the simple act of painting this trim the same color as the top, it makes it feel a little bit more like one continuous piece, even though there's a gap in here. My long-term goal would be to solidify the two sides of this fireplace. It is a double-sided fireplace, and if you missed the opposite side of this fireplace, I have a whole video on how we built a stone fireplace on the other side. On this side, I did paint this opening to match the opposite side of the dining room. It was previously a really dark wood, and we have a lot of different wood tones in this house. When we bought it, there was orange oak everywhere. The floors were very red, and as we've updated spaces, we've kind of eradicated and toned down the wood tones, and this was another step in getting to the long-term goal of having a solidified home. I hope you just kind of enjoyed seeing the process of this very simple project. Not every project goes as planned, not every project ends as desired, but it's still an improvement. If you missed it, I did build this bookshelf out of a doorway. I'll link it up here and in the description for you, because that's a project that went as planned. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.